25 gifted, baby. Okay. What song is this? Maddock featuring Villa, Ghost Assassin. That's fine. Okay. I started playing WoW like back in vanilla, man. My first big streaming milestone was it was actually when Twitch invented gifted subs. Before, I would stream and I would get like maybe like 1 sub a week and maybe like a couple dollars here and there, a couple $5 donos once a week. What do you mean kecked up, you guys? What, don't be laughing at 1 sub a week, guys. That shit was fire back then, all right? But then they invented gifted subs, and this guy named Chalt came in and he dropped 100 gifted subs one day, which is fucking insane. It was $500 back then, and I was like, holy shit, I need to start streaming every single day and change my life instantly on the spot. And then I started streaming every single day after that. Changed my major the next day in college. Didn't tell anyone about it. Just sobered up immediately, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. Change my entire class schedule, everything. Basically, when I was in college, that happened. Yeah. Cap, now you're a billionaire. Sobered up as in stop smoking weed. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm gonna not do this. Pool thing that resub. I mean, that's a whole story about my college career because I never liked school. I was really bad at school. I just never did well. I'm like a C average student. I think my GPA is still higher than like most people in the WoW section. I was like a 2.8 average GPA-ish. Maybe even lower. 2 something. But when I tried to get into college, I tried to go in undeclared because you have the best chance of getting in undeclared. And I couldn't even get into Sac State, and I was like living in Sacramento. That's where I'm from. So they wouldn't even let me in, and you're supposed to have like an advantage getting into your own state, like your own like place's college. So I couldn't even get in there. I applied to a couple different places, and I ended up going to Sonoma State University as undeclared. And then I was like, well, I have to do something. So I thought I was going to do business. So I was a business major for like the first year of my thing, and I'm taking all these microeconomics, macroeconomics, all these GEs and all this random shit. And I was like, this sucks, this is terrible. And then I was like, okay, I gotta switch into something serious. Oh my god, my wand just broke. Shit. Alright, we're going with no wand. I feel like I actually need the wand. But basically, so I was like, okay, I gotta become a computer science major. So I switched all my major from business to computer science, and my sister's a CS major and her boyfriend was, so I was collaborating with them and getting help and assistance on every single assignment and project that I had to do. And then I was doing that for like a year, and I'm like about to be a junior in college at this point. I've done a lot of GEs, and if you guys don't know how college works in the US, you don't start taking your super serious classes until you're like a junior or so, because you're doing mainly gen ed classes, which is a bunch of random shit that you just have to take. Like I took like theater class, music classes, like just a bunch of nonsense that you have to take. So you have to do a bunch of random shit. And I just got through my second year in college, and I started streaming. Like I was at my parents' place and I was streaming, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this. And then literally that one day happened. It was like August 7th or August 8th of 2018, right before college starts again. And that dude Chalt came in and dropped 100 gifted subs. And I was so miserable and so pissed off in college. Like I hated school. Like every day was so awful. It was the worst, most depressing, anger-filled days of my life. Like I don't know when's the last time, if you guys do this or not, the last time you sat in like your car or something and just screamed at the top of your lungs, like in your car by yourself, or you're like screaming into some pillow or some shit in frustration and anger. Like just so much to the point where like it is literally it's so awful and so terrible. It's like, bro, this cannot go on. Bro, I have to repair. This is fraud. I have no wand. But so basically that was happening, and then that guy came in, Chalt, gifted 100 subs, and the second I got back into school, it's like, if you guys don't know in computer science, I could have minored in CS if I did one more semester, but there's this class called assembly learning where it just weasels out all the shitters, all the people that actually don't know anything, and it's like the class that's gonna make or break it, like if you're actually gonna be able to do this. I walked into my first class actually, and first of all, I had to take a fucking calculus class. I had like a 20-30% in calculus the entire semester. Like I literally would go into this calculus class because you had to take certain math. And that's why I took stats. You had to take a bunch of random shit to go to CS. I took calculus 1, and it was literally, I would walk into exams not even knowing there was midterms, asking for pencils, asking for Scantrons, having to leave class to go buy my Scantron and shit. And I would get points for putting my name on the paper. I'm getting like 10, 15% on these tests. If you have never walked into an exam and gotten a fucking 10%, you actually just have no idea what straight up degenerate suffering is. You're sitting there for an hour, 2 hours, flipping the page. You get the test. You look at it. You're like, all right, let's check the next page. Like, all right, let's check the next page. And all right, let's check the next page. The next thing you know, you flip through the whole test. You don't know anything. You have no idea. Nothing even looks doable. You're fighting for partial credit on everything. You're just trying to make up complete bullshit everywhere the whole way through. Like just tearing. You're looking around like the tryhards in the class are just getting it done instantly and this and that. And you're just looking around immediately hoping that other people are suffering as bad as you are. So yeah, I had a calculus class, but basically I get in and I go into calculus 2. Well, actually there's an ad going to run out. I'll tell you guys after. I completely forgot about it. I haven't talked about my college days because it was just so terrible for so long. Where's the repair guy here, by the way? Does anyone know? I need to repair. Oh, he's over here. Okay. There's an ad running. Lack, then that resub. Lil Gups never heard of cheating. Guys, the thing is, like, cheating will only get you so far in college. Like, because there's going to come a time where you have to actually know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to get a job. Like, if you cheat your whole way through and don't know shit, it's going to bite you in the ass after. Because you have to think, like, I'm going to spend my whole life doing this. So if this is, like, the rest of my life, I'm not even going to live at this point. It's just completely terrible. It's over. Like, you may as well just stop. I feel like ChatGPT probably helps a lot now for college, but... So... You'll see a sec. There's like 40 seconds on this ad. Stickers, didn't that resub? Executioner's Mage, huh? Awesome Troll through the 5 gifted. Thank you very, very, very much. Kush, then that prime sub. It's so true unless your major's some nonsense. Yeah, if you actually have a real major, you have to actually figure it out. Otherwise, you're cooked. Unless you got in during the COVID era, like in the tech field or something, where they are hiring everybody and people could work 5 jobs at one time, and now you can't get a job in that field or something. So I have no idea. But, okay, the ad's done. But yeah, so I was in CS. It was the worst days of my life. It was terrible. I thought... For those that don't know what computer science is, if you think that you're going to be good at computer science because you like playing video games and being on the computer, you're completely wrong. There is zero correlation at all to enjoying playing games and being in the tech world. It is a completely different language. It's total nonsense. There is no crossover. All you are doing in CS is you're sitting there Googling if someone had the same problem as you and they can tell you how to fix it. And you're just going to like GitHub, looking at other people's resources, saying like, yeah, okay, you just become a professional Googler because no one knows shit, no one knows anything, and you're just hoping someone can tell you, oh, I did this exact problem, this is what you do, and then it's like, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, so it was just terrible. I would sit in the lab for 8 hours and trying to make fucking circles appear on my screen in front of me. It was the most brain rot shit I've ever seen. It's like I need to make the circles appear like this, but it has to be in a certain way, and they have to be certain colors, and it's like, dude, this is. I would sit there and I'd look at the code and I'm just sitting there suffering all day long knowing nothing what I'm doing. But so yeah, the guy, I'm about to go into my junior year. I'm at home, I stream, the guy gets 100 subs on like August 7th, August 8th, and I hated what I was doing. I show up to school, and what they do is when you show up in CS classes, well first, okay, so I show up, my first class was Calculus 2. I walk into this fucking classroom, the professor looks like he's 70, 80 years old. Okay? He has no technology. He's like, I don't have a computer, I don't have a cell phone, and I don't use any email at all. So the only time you can talk to me is when I'm here. I'm gonna invite this guy to group, hold on. Dude, this guy. So basically he's like, yeah, I don't believe in technology. He uses chalk, and the textbook is just some old ass thing. And I'm sitting there, I got a 20% in calculus and I passed because the curve was so massive. I literally had a 20% that got curved to a 70. Because everyone else was failing too. So that was insane. I walk in, I see this guy, worst professor I've ever seen. He can barely even speak English. That's another thing in college. They love hiring people who can't speak English. It's unbelievable. It's crazy how that is. How the hell are they hiring people who don't speak English? It's like, they're just that thick accents. Thickest fucking accent. It's like, dude, this is a joke. Okay? And then, so yeah, the guy's like, I don't use anything, this and that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Calculus 2, there's no chance I'm passing this. This is terrible. I walk into my next class. It's assembly learning. I go in, I sit down, I'm seeing all my classmates I've had in CS for the last year. I'm looking around, I'm seeing like most of the same people. Some people aren't there. And we sit down and he's like, all right, guys, what have you done? What have you retained over the summer break? And he puts up a quiz. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the quiz. It's like, yo, try to make this code, try to do this or that. I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes. Couldn't answer a single question. And then I said, you know what? Fuck this. I stood up and walked out. Stood up right 10 minutes into class, said, fuck this, walked out. Instantly went to the counseling office, changed my major from CS to communications. And that's where I decided I'm going to change my fucking life because I hated what I did and I thought I had a chance at it. So I didn't ask my parents. I didn't tell anyone. I just left. First time I just walked out of the class like in the movies, went straight to the counselor, and I tried to change my major from CS to communications because I was like, if I'm going to try to stream, I need as much time as possible, and I need to do the easiest major possible that's going to give me the least amount of tests, least amount of homework. It's the most troll shit you can do. So it was like, okay, this has got to be the easiest thing. This will give me the most time to stream. And then I get there, and the counselor is just fucking with me the whole time. They're like, have you thought about what you want to do for your career? Like, what jobs have you explored? Why are you doing this? Why are you leaving CS? Just haggling the shit out of me for like an hour, asking like, you know, this is a big deal. This is your future. I'm like, listen, I do not care. I have no answers to any of these questions. Just make this happen. Get me out of this major. Put me in comms. And then, so yeah, I switched to comms, and then I started streaming every single day. And then I had a problem where I took this one music theory class. It was music for non-music majors for a GE. And I went to that class for like 2 weeks. I had an F. It was an 8 a.m. class. And I was like, you know what? This is a total fucking waste of time. I'm waking up at 7 a.m. to go to this class. It's killing my sleep schedule. It's making streaming worse. I'm just going to stop going and just fail it. So that was the only class I've ever failed. I just stopped going because I was like, this is so detrimental to what's going on in the stream. It's like, I'm out of here. Yeah, so I failed that class, and then I was trying to explain to people what I wanted to do for a living, and no one understood it. And then there was another thing you had to do to graduate was you had to get internship hours. So I almost dropped out of college over this too, because you have to get like 180 hours of internship in whatever you're doing to graduate your major. You cannot graduate without it. It's a non-negotiable. So this is when I started to have a real deep hatred for my school because, so you guys know BlizzCon, right? That WoW tournament that was put on, or I'm sure you guys watch big gaming tournaments. I got invited by Blizzard to be flown out and cast a live gaming tournament in Columbus, Ohio. And like I'm literally commentating and broadcasting a PvP tournament with like, 15, 20,000 viewers. And they fucking told me that doesn't count for communications major. They said, no, I don't think that counts as a communications major. That doesn't sound legit to me. And then this other chick in the class, she fucking walks in and she's like, hey, I just got hired at the local spa. I'm the front desk receptionist. And they're like, yeah, let me sign that off right now. Perfect. That's great. And I'm sitting there fucking fuming. I just went in there with all this thing. I'm like, yo, there's this Blizzard $1 trillion company. They're flying me out. We're suited up. It's a professional production. All these cameras. And then I was like, I was trying to drop out instantly on the spot. I was like, dude, no way. I would sit there and just complain about it every day. It was the worst days ever. And then I was trying to say, okay, like how about Twitch streaming? Is there any way I could say streaming has anything to do with communications because I'm like broadcasting this show and this? And then they said, no, you can't do that because there's no one telling you what to do. There's like no one that's supervising you. So it doesn't count. And then I'm thinking like, what do these idiots want me to do? Do they want me to go get 180 hours of some unpaid internship handing coffee to people to satisfy their needs or something? Are these people all morons? And they were all morons because it's like, yeah, they want me to just go do 180 hours somehow. How the hell would I even do that? I'm not even sure what that would look like. And then I got so lucky because the Golden State Warriors wanted to hire us to play for their esports team because Sonoma State is right next to San Francisco. It's like 2 hours away or less. So I got in contact with the Golden State Warriors, and then I was able to say that I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I was going to have the Golden State Warriors, the guy who hired us, help make my YouTube channel or something. So I had to just do a bunch of bullshit through that, like acting like that was something. So I was able to get my community service hours through that. It was total nonsense. Like that was so fried. And that was actually when I started my actual YouTube channel too, like back in 2020 or something. And then The other big problem I had was there's this other class you have to take in college. It's in your final senior year. It's like your, I don't know what the class was called. It was like a senior send-off class where everybody that's your age in your major that's about to graduate, you capstone? No, it wasn't capstone for me. It was like it's senior seminar, I think. Maybe senior seminar or something. But basically you go in there and that's where you actually discuss what do you do after college, because everyone that is like so confused at like where are they going to get hired. Like a lot of people get depressed after leaving college because it's like their whole life they're going to school and then all of a sudden they have all this freedom and they can do whatever they want. Guys, can someone layer me? But I went into this class and this guy hands out like a couple books, like How to Steal Like an Artist, something about deep work, and he hands out this list of like hundreds of jobs for communications majors. And I was like, I instantly got the list and I read it and I was like, I don't want to do any of this. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to be a live streamer. I want to be a professional content creator. And instantly everyone looked at me like there was something wrong with me. The teacher's talking shit to me the entire semester. He was like, well, you can at least, look at this and have a backup plan and this and that. And, I can't remember. I wouldn't accept any self-help. I mean, you're an idiot if you don't accept self-help at this age. And I was like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm locked in on. And I had to do some whole senior presentation on my Twitch stream and how many followers I had and this and that. And I remember going up to my class and giving this presentation of like what I do and showing myself playing the tournament in 2018 where I'm like in the finals. And no one understood a single fucking word I was saying until they saw like the audience in the crowd for the 2018 thing. And then this fucking one moron goes up after me and talks about how he's starting his SoundCloud podcast with 5 followers. Dude, college was so fucking fried for me. There was just so much shit where I would just come home so pissed off every single day. Serial thing, the 5 gifted. That was like crazy. But yeah, that teacher hated me because I didn't give any consideration to any of the jobs listed on the paper. And then I also just had really different ideas of what I wanted to do with my life than other people. So I was actually around a lot of people who I felt I was not inspired by them. Like a lot of people, and you can do whatever you want to do, right? It's okay to have any interest or this and that. Not everyone's meant to do the same thing. But like a lot of communications majors would say like, I want to be a BuzzFeed writer. I want to be a journalist, or like I want to like be a camera